Bobbi Kristina Brown confirms she's engaged. From Hollywood, I'm Nicole DeBow for the Daily Buzz on CelebBuzz.com. Now, it is official. Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobbi Kristina, confirmed on her upcoming reality show, The Houstons on Our Own, that she is in fact engaged to her longtime family friend, Nick Gordon. Joining the conversation from New York, we have David Kaplan of GossipDavid.com. Thanks for joining us today, David. Now, before we chat, I want everyone to take a look at a clip from Bobbi Kristina's Lifetime reality show.
No one knew that from a godson that you would turn into a boyfriend. No one knew that. Something is different. Something is not right.
He's having a real big problem.
I hope Chrissy is not breathing in the wrong way.
So, David, we know that Nick was someone Whitney loved, but she never, in fact, adopted him. So what are your thoughts? I mean, what do you think this fuss is all about?
I mean, the fuss is basically that Whitney did consider Nick as a son. That's why, he's always referred to as her, quote, adopted son. And hence, then he was sort of, quote, the brother of, obviously, Bobbi Kristina. So that's really why a lot of people are sort of uncomfortable about it. It sort of gives you a bit of an ick factor.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they were somewhat raised together, but he also was a huge loving support for her after Whitney's death. So, I don't know, is the relationship just a little bit understandable?
Yeah, I think the relationship is definitely understandable at the same time because he's been there for Bobbi Kristina. He also gets her. He knows the family. He knows all the dynamics. And he was there, pre-Whitney and post-Whitney. So he really gets her. And he's been great, obviously, for her to lean on. So, of course, it makes sense that they want to sort of, make it official, continue their life together. But there's just the fact that, the relationship started on this weird sort of sibling-esque sort of dynamic that Whitney herself spoke about. I think that's why people just sort of they raise an eyebrow a little bit or sort of like shudder at the back of it.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now, when watching this show, it looks as if she is still not dealing with the loss of her mom very well. Now, we know that she was a part of another train wreck reality show with being Bobbi Brown. Do you think that this show is just another train wreck in the making?
Yeah, I do. I don't really know how this is going to be necessarily therapeutic for her, to be honest with you. I appreciate it's good to get things off her chest, but all she's doing really is sort of opening herself up for criticism. Why is she doing this? Why is she putting herself out there? Mourning is supposed to be something that's typically private because she's already spoken about it. But, maybe for her, she really thinks that this is sort of following in the footsteps of her mother. She's an entertainer. She's out there. And perhaps for her, she finds this therapeutic because she's really going to be connecting with Whitney's fans.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it does seem a little soon, but thanks a bunch, David Kaplan, for taking the time to discuss this very surprising engagement. For more on the engagement, you can go to CelebBuzz.com and go ahead and join the conversation on Twitter using #TheDailyBuzz.